morning. It's 8 o'clock in the morning, and today I'm going to do something really crazy, and I haven't done this in a while. I used to do this all the time while I was in my school, and it was such great fun. And oh my god, I don't know why I suddenly thought it's great to do. I'm so scared, so I'm getting ready to go out, and I will take you guys along. Though this is my 5-star book reads video for 2020, but we are incorporating it into a vlog and my reads. So all the 5-star reads this year will be featured in this video with some vlogging, a little bit of fusion. So chalo, let's go. And I'm going to go and get ready and packed up because it's so cold. Delhi is so cold right now. I'm all ready and I'm waiting for my friend to reach here, and then we'll leave. And it's gonna be a cold day, and I don't know why I'm doing this. तो आज हम आए हैं डूड, पूरा खाली है, पूरा का पूरा खाली है. अभी हम लोग जा रहे हैं स्टारबक्स कहाँ है वो रहा. मेरे हाथ बिल्कुल, हाथ देख मेरे. ये है वंदना. हाय, वेलकम टू द व्लॉग्स. हम स्टारबक्स से खुल रहे हैं. स्टारबक्स हमसे पहले भी लोग हैं. ओके, लेट्स गो. आज हम लोगों ने क्या क्या करा है. जमे हैं ठंडे में महंगी वाली कॉफी पी. आज हमने स्टारबक्स की. महंगा वाला हमने क्या खाया, पराठा रैप. चलो अब हम जा रहे हो. बाय गाइस, बाय बाय. Hello everyone, so I'm back from that little adventure in the morning, and I took a bath after that, which is why my hair is all messed up, but I had to make the deadline and I had to make this video right now. So now to the main part for the book lovers. Before 2020 ends, I wanted to show you all my favorite reads of this year. So I have not read a lot, but I think I have found some books that I'll treasure forever and that changed my life. And I would want to introduce these books to you so that they can impact your life some way. And so let's go. And the first book that I'm going to talk about is my last 5-star read of 2020, and that is A Streetcar Named Desire by Tennessee Williams. So this is a play, and I thoroughly enjoyed it because of 2 reasons. First of all, I watched the movie after the play, or you can watch it before, and I got to know about the author or the writer. Well, why I said you should watch the movie is when you read this, sometimes it gets really hard to visualize the emotion behind a sentence or a dialogue. So the characters go on saying something, but sometimes it's so hard to comprehend it through the book. So when you watch the movie, you feel it, and somehow I found such hilarious moments which were sad and hilarious, so that I couldn't feel through while reading it. And the second point, which is reading about the author himself has incorporated all his lively issues, problems and insecurities in this book. He gave those characters his own life and own experience maybe. So this deals with homosexuality, it deals with alcoholism and mental illness, some of the things that we need to talk about and need to be aware about. So this book is a pretty short one, but it will change you from inside. I can clearly still remember the struggle between the genders, how a female was supposed to be and is thought to be submissive to the male, and how when one characters goes against those norms, she dealt with such injustice. So I would say please go ahead and give this small play a read. It does not take long, because it doesn't take long at all actually, because it's small. The English is very comprehensible, so you can watch the movie and read this. this book came as a pleasant surprise in my life. Let me tell you the story. One fine day, one very breezy cold day, I was walking through the streets of Dehradun with my family. My family entered into different shops, but my eyes found a little cute bookstore called the Cambridge Bookstore. I went inside because the books were calling me. I saw rows and rows of books and I couldn't stop myself. And there, I saw one book which called out to me stronger than the others. I picked it up. I didn't even look at the blurb. I didn't even look at the genre. I just saw the title and I picked it up for myself. We came home and this book was on my shelf for long. And then one fine day, it called out to me again because I think it was the right time to bring that change in my life. And this book is To Serve with Love by E.R. Brathwaite. This book changed me because first of all, it's a non-fiction. And anyone who knows me knows that I hate reading non-fiction. And I loved it. This autobiography changed me. So I will now be hunting for more non-fictions. Coming back to my normal self and to the review for this book. This book is life-changing. It gives you a perspective, it gives you new direction and teaches you a lot. This book is about a black man. So it was first published in 1959. And this is about a black man struggling during those times in London, where after army, I think he was a pilot, he was in aviation, he couldn't find a job because he was a black man and because he was so educated that people did not want to work under him. And at the end of it, he had to become a teacher because he had no other option. He became a teacher in a school which was broken down, and there the children were socially backward and they did not understand the English way much. This man entered into their lives and changed it completely. But let's not only say that. According to him, those children changed his life as well. He changed himself while changing the life of the young people or the minds of the young people. This book I can never not like. It will forever be with me wherever I go, and I will keep reading it and keep rereading it when I need motivation in my life and I need to see the path in my life, because he was put in such degrading and humiliating situations, but he fought through it. Despite being so educated, he was made to feel like an inferior person, and he still came out as a hero. So I would say, guys, do not give up on this one. Buy it, read it, invest into a book like this, and you will thank me later. The next book is another play, A View from the Bridge. Now this is written by Arthur Miller. So I think this is my first book by this writer and first play by this writer, and I loved it. I read the introduction of this book. I'm not sure if in other edition the introduction is there. In modern classics there are introductions to each book and the forewords. And there I saw how Arthur Miller said that he does not want to make a fancy play. He does not want to be Shakespearean. He does not want to put fancy words and, to bring out the simplest of emotions. He wants simple words to depict simple emotions and for people to simply accept it and feel the drasticness of it. I know what's up with the American era where Arthur Miller and Tennessee Williams were contemporaries in those times, and I think those times were the times where people wanted to see a lot of drama, they wanted to see the real tragedy, they wanted to see the reality. It shows what a lustful feeling can do to a person, how your emotions can throw you from the balance of life, because lust is as much as an emotion as anger, as love, as sadness. And the protagonist as per se, or the maybe antagonist of this book, Eddie, felt it and he couldn't control himself. So this book is written through the voice of a well-wisher of Eddie, who is a lawyer, and he narrates this sad story of a man who is hardworking but falls to his own emotions. It is a solid read. It's a great read. It's very simple, so you don't need any movie or any play, to watch any visual play to understand it. But I would recommend it because last time that I did it completely changed the whole meaning of dialogues at points, because he is overtaken by lust and love and possessiveness and the male ego and everything else, and that is his downfall. So if you are into tragic plays and everything and you're looking for something very simple yet something very deep and very heart touching, so go for this read. I would highly suggest Arthur Miller's A View from the Beach. The next book is, I don't think, a 5-star read for me. I might have rated it 4-star. I'm not sure, but I still wanted to incorporate it into this video. And that is The Cracked Looking Glass by Catherine Ann Porter. Yeah. So this title was, again, I bought it without knowing what it really was about, because I like collecting editions as well, and that actually helps me in discovering different genres and different titles. So I stumbled upon this one, and this book is about a feeling of a young woman and how the whole society is so quick to judge something unconventional and a female. So the protagonist, is married to an older man. She's pretty, she's beautiful, she's young. She's judged not by only the people and the society around, but also by her own husband. So I would say give it a read. It's a small book. If you can find it in some other edition, because I don't think this is available. Let me read the blurb for you. A passionate, unfulfilled woman considers her life and her marriage in this moving novella by one of America's finest short story writers. So, despite here it's written that she considers her life and her, marriage, she is still judged so much by the society, so much to, just because she wants to live, just because she has ambitions, just because she is still young and she still wants to have a life. But everything is tainted, their view is so tainted that they only want to see what they think is right. So yeah, give this one a try. So the next book is a debut novel, and I thank Bloomsbury for the arc, because I would have not heard about this otherwise. And the book is How to Pronounce Knife, and the author is, I'm not going to butcher her name. So yeah, this is a collection of short stories of immigrants from Laos, and I read it a while ago, so it's a little blurry in my head, but I have a few favorite short stories here. One is Chick a Chi. So it is so it's such a heartwarming thing. This story is about a father and his children, like a son and a daughter, and they call trick or treat Chick or Chi, and because they are not that well versed with English, so they do not understand what this really is about. But this story is about how this immigrant life has changed their emotions completely and changed their childhood completely, and they are still trying to hold on to that little bit of innocence that's left, as rest of it has been snatched away from the world. Next one is How to Pronounce Knife itself. It is about a daughter's love for her father, and how all of us daughters think that our fathers are flawless, how they are great at everything, how they know everything, and sometime or some point in life we understand that they are humans just as much as we are, just as much everyone else is. The little girl is now not so little, and still she sees her father as a hero despite knowing that he's just as flawed as anyone else in the world. So Many Paddy, that's, I think it's about brothers and sisters struggle. So this book is about struggle, love, hurt, innocence, coping. So one of the quotes I remember from Slingshot, a short story in this book only, where the author says that each person in a life has a part to play, and once that part is done, once their job is done, they leave. So it just strikes you. I would highly suggest reading this book if you want to look or get an insight to the life of less fortunate people who are struggling every day. So the next book on my list is again a short story, is Terrific Mother by Laurie Moore, and it's a Faber and Faber collection. So this book is about Evelyn, and she is going through a trauma. So it's on the blurb, so I will say it. She goes to her friend's Labor Day picnic and accidentally kills their baby. And the fact that here it says that during those times when the best compliment a childless woman can get is, "You'll make a terrific mother," and she kills her friend's baby. To know how, you will have to read the book. It's a story of after. It's not a story which leads up to that incident. It's a story of after. After that happens, how does she feel? Does she feel like a less of a woman? Does she feel like less of a person? Is she just a shell living, just a walking shell? So this is a story of her coming out of that trauma, living life again. The book has used wit and humor as a coping mechanism to hide the pain, the hurt, the trauma behind it all. So it's a great read, and I know I have read so many female-centric books this year, and I am loving every bit of it. The next book is, I think, very, very, very popular. I bought it like 2-3 years ago. The book is Cersei by Madeline Miller, and this book is beautiful. So I know a lot of people might not like it because of its lyricalness. So it does not have a lot of revenge taking, a lot of violence, a lot of the charisma that is around Greek gods. It is about the simpleness, the soberness, the stubbornness, the righteousness of a god, of a female god, and who was thought to be less. So it's about Cersei. She was a Greek goddess, and she was thought to be very, very inferior from rest of her siblings and relatives. She did not have a lot of powers, so she was not even respected by her own family. She was just cast aside, and when she tried to be nice, she was exiled from her own house. It's a story about a woman who changed the world by her, strong heart, by her, stubbornness, or resilient nature. She was cast aside, but nobody could ignore her. She has a son with Odyssey, and it's a story which will blow your mind. So I would say please give this a read, because I absolutely love it and adore it. The next book is a very interesting read. Well, this book has completely changed my choices. I will be choosing more from this genre, and it completely astonished me. The book is Huhu by Vishwananda Satyanarayana. This book holds two stories, which is Huhu, a horse-headed god, and second, Vishnu Sharma Learns English. Now, I highly suggest that you guys buy these editions, Modern Classic by Penguin, because they have forwards and introductions, and they completely change the meaning of the whole story and the emotion behind it. So when I read the introduction for this one, it told me that this poet and author he came up as a reaction to the Britishers who tried to demolish or take away our languages and culture. So we all know that before Britishers, Brahmins were highly, highly respected. They were respected because those people were scholars. They knew things, they understood things. The other Hindu tradition has a scientific reason behind it, but those scholars knew that in order to make people understand this, we have to add a theological theory behind it. I might be wrong at some point, feel free to correct me. But this book is about how this author tried to tell people that these Britishers are brainwashing us. They are trying to segregate us and create a feeling of hatred toward our own, and also take away our language and culture. How they did that was they made us feel like that English is a superior language, Englishmen are superior, their ways are more superior, human and dynamic and ever improving with times, and our ways are very barbaric, very stagnant. So they tried to push a picture in our mind, and that happened. That still is going on. So this book has two stories where this author talks about or tries to show that how manipulative they were and how they completely changed our minds and how we should respect our own cultures more. It was a retaliation to every modern writer who tried to attack their own background, without understanding the whole meaning behind it. So give it a read. It might change your mind, or it might give you a new perspective in life as to why Indian culture was and is still one of the best. Next book is 1984 by George Orwell. So I think most of us, reader or non-reader, we have heard about this book and we have heard about the dystopianness of this story, and I will make a dedicated video out of it because I have done a whole lot of research and read time and again different paragraphs to understand and comprehend different meaning behind this book, because it's mind-boggling. This book sends you into a zone where it's just crazy. Like, you feel crazy, you look around yourself and you're like, oh my god, is it actually generally happening with us, genuinely happening with us? Gives you a sense of paranoia, but it also shows you what we do not want in the future, what we want to stay away from, and we don't want to lead to a society like that. So give this book a read, guys, please. I don't even have to recommend it. You have to read this. This is like a mandatory read for every human being living. So read it. Next book is this beautiful book. It's Eleanor Orphan is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. So this book is so popular and so hyped, and it is rightfully so. This book is about something that's very relatable to us in today's time, and that is loneliness, mental illness, and the monotonousness of life. These three things we all are suffering from. Character, the protagonist, Eleanor, she lives a very simple life. She lives a very socially excluded life. She is alone. She likes to be alone, and that is because of her past traumas. Some traumas that she her brain has just blocked out, and because of that she's so awkward with people. She's very knowledgeable in terms of things and random facts, but she's not at all versed with the social and manners around people. So Eleanor is inside us. All of us have an Eleanor in us, and this is a story of her opening up and experiencing new things in life. She is obsessive. She likes to make stories, and that is her coping mechanism in life. So this book is a very emotional read, very heart-touching and very emotional thing. You feel your inner Eleanor connecting and relating with this Eleanor in the book. So read it. Well, the next book is Normal People by Sally. So this book is an emotional roller coaster like every other book that I have mentioned, but this one is so much more intense. So it is situated in the modern world, and the story is about Marianne and Connell. So both of them are friends, but it's a very typical relationship. Marianne is thought to be a freak. Her family members, her friends, her peers all think that she is a freak because she does not fit into our social norms. And here comes Connell, the very popular person, a very normal, a very normal, popular kind of a guy, and everyone loves him. He has a very big group and everyone wants to be his friend. You know, girls want to date him and things like that. And in, you know, if we see the financial part, Marianne is a rich from a rich house. She's a lawyer's daughter, I think, and Connell is from a poor house. His mother is Marianne's housekeeper. So this story is about how both of them find something, you know, of kind of a connection between each other, and they find this very toxic, a very modern age kind of a relationship where they want to be with that person, but the social norms and the peer pressure does not allow it. The idea of keeping your image, you know, takes you away from that one person you want to be with. You know, cut to the future, things change, both of them clash, they keep clashing with each other because that's how cruel fate is. And in the end as well, it is a very open ending, and that killed me because I kept crying through this read. To give this book a read, you will enjoy it because it's so real. It's actually kind of scary. So the next book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about it. It's a brilliant book, a masterpiece, I would say, because it depicts the reality so well. So Evelyn is a girl from a very small family, like they are not very rich, and her mother dies, but she wanted to be a star, and Evelyn takes forward that dream. She makes it to the Hollywood. She runs away from the Hell's Kitchen, as we say, and in the process of making it big, she meets a lot of people. She falls in love a lot of times. She marries a lot of people, as the title says, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, but she could never marry the one person she loves with all her heart. At one point, she marries her own best friend to keep their own secrets inside and still live a life they want to in a facade. And at the end, she calls upon this journalist who's not that well known. So people are surprised. Why would she call upon a specific journalist to give her life story out? The ending, the dots connect, and it's like, what just happened? So it's a very, very, very good book because I think it reflects the glamour society. And I love how they incorporated the LGBTQ community in this so well, and how they had to, people of this community had to face so much during those earlier times. And the last book for this video is The White Tiger. So The White Tiger, I had a copy of this book because obviously I read it, but I can't find it right now. So White Tiger is a great book because it talks about class struggle. It talks about today's society. It talks about how Indian society is so corrupt and so so much injustice is going on. This book is about a man who comes from a very poor family, from a village where he has only seen the dominance of the fat cats, and he comes out of it. He comes to city, a big city, and there he starts working as a driver. He experiences different things here, but he's so suppressed. All the cruel things, all the cruel things of society, how he's unable to provide for his family, how his own family members are like leech, sucking the money out of that person, so he can't live. So how that suppression, frustration, and all of that just comes together and bursts one day. It is somehow, you will see, Karl Marx theory works here, but twistedly. The person who is suppressed for so long finally comes out to be on an equal pedestal, but in this book he becomes what he was fighting. So read a book which makes a difference in your life. Read a book which changes your thought process completely, which gives you a view of the other side. So yeah, those are all my 5-star reads for 2020, and hope that you will find some recommendation good enough to pick up. And thank you so much for joining and staying for this long. Please like, share, comment and subscribe because I am enjoying this so much, sharing my love for books. So that is all. Thank you so much and take care of yourself. Bye.